Hey guys, and welcome back to a follow-up review of the Kiprun Trail XT7. The original review I did 7 months ago, and I've had these shoes now for approximately 9 months, and this is around about the 650 kilometer or 400 mile mark, and it's the point at which I really need to say, okay, I need new shoes. So let's give a rundown of how this shoe performed in the past 7 months. Starting with the sole, there's been some significant wear. Obviously this is quite a soft compound, so I don't know if you guys can see that, but what was originally 5mm lugs is worn down in some places almost to the bottom of the sole. So there's definitely significantly less grip now with this tread. I'm slipping a lot, so definitely time for a new pair. Yeah, on the other sole, on the other shoe, you can see that I don't know if it was a rock or a piece of glass, but something really sliced through, and here you can see just how thin that sole actually is. I guess it's for weight saving, but yeah, it sliced right through and into the midsole as well, but it protected my feet. That's the main thing, and since that cut happened, it hasn't degraded, the sole hasn't split or degraded any further. There's another cut there, so yeah, it's a very soft compound, and if you hit sharp rocks or glass, it doesn't particularly repel it that well. But that being said, it protected my feet when it mattered the most. Yeah, and you can see here with this lug is almost worn completely flat. But yeah, that's to be expected after some 400 miles or 650 kilometers of running and hiking. There is going to be significant wear, and this is about the point that I have to say goodbye to these shoes. So moving on to the upper. So the most obvious amount of wear or damage, I would say, is at this point where the upper flexes, and over time that has just caused wear and tear to the upper of the sole, and you can see here where it's starting to come apart at the reinforcement on the lacing, and also very evidently the upper's just starting to completely disintegrate on the other side too. So I mean, another run or another hike, and I think it's gonna separate completely. I can even stick my finger out of there, and that's just wear and tear. It's the same on the other sole, on the other shoe. You can see it beginning to happen on this side, and it's that point where the shoe flexes. So this reinforcement is excellent. Around the rubber band around the toe box has really protected the shoe, and of course all of the other reinforcement, all of this mesh, which really helps to support the arch of the foot. I have quite high arches, so I found this very beneficial, and this mesh is very sturdy. I mean, it's heavy duty reinforcement all the way around the heel area, really keeps that heel stable, and it's held up remarkably well. There's no damage to that mesh at all, and also in the places where you've got even triple reinforcement, because this is the base layer here, and then you've got the secondary layer here which is held up, and then there's even a tertiary layer with this hard plastic with the Kalenji logo over the top. So all of that, you know, double reinforcement has held up amazingly well. But I guess to put reinforcement here is going to be somewhat tricky, because the foot needs to flex at this point around the toe area and the big toe, and so it needs to be flexible there. But with that being said, I think they've held up remarkably well. Oh yeah, one other thing I wanted to show you guys. Well, there's a little bit of damage there on the toe box. That's just coming through brambles and thorns and all that kind of stuff, which has just shredded the outer layer really a little bit. But other than that, the secondary reinforcement on the toe box is intact. One thing that really made me realize I needed to replace these shoes, apart from all the other wear I've shown you, is here, where you can now see that the midsole is starting to detach from the upper, and that's the most noticeable point there. And that is really just another indicator that, okay, these shoes are ready to be put out to seed now. It's happening in a few other places, but that's the most noticeable area. Yeah, there were a few other places, but I can't find that now. Okay, so moving on to the rest of the shoe. The laces I found, as you can see, there's very little wear on the laces. They're really sturdy, bomb-proof laces, and even despite being caught on thorns and such like, they've held up remarkably well. Now, this little feature which I was raving about so much in the first review, which is the little pocket for the laces, is really very flimsy. So the first time I caught this when I was trail running on thorns, I mean, it just got absolutely shredded. So yeah, great little feature, but it's not actually that sturdy. And one thing I did find with these laces is that they do come undone very easily. Even if I stick a double knot in there, they still come undone eventually. So it's something to do with the nylon they're made of. They're just very slippery. But yeah, sticking them in the little laces pocket certainly helped them to stay done up for longer. But I did find having to do up my laces was a frequent occurrence with these shoes. And you can see on the other shoe, likewise, same problem. I've completely shredded these, catching on thorns when I've been trail running through the jungle. Yeah, I have not been gentle with these shoes at all. I've used them exactly for what they're meant for, which is trail running, and in my opinion they've held up remarkably well, all things considering. For the price point, which is very low, I think they've done remarkably well. One other thing I wanted to show you is the inners. Now this is on the my left side, and it's more worn than on the right side, but it's gone right through where my big toe is. It's gone right through to the foam on the other side, and it's actually, I don't know if you can see that, but it's almost worn completely through, and I was starting to get blisters on this side. So yeah, just another indicator that the shoes are on their way out. So the big question is, buying a new pair of shoes, would I buy these again? And the answer is yes, absolutely, I would buy these again, and indeed I have gone out and bought exactly the same pair, because I'm really quite pleased with the way they performed. 650 kilometers or 400 miles is a good amount of wear to get out of a shoes. Indeed, it's probably the point at which most people would chuck out any running shoe or trail running shoe. Nothing lasts forever. So yep, I'm very happy with these Kiprun Trail with the XT7, and after all of this running and hiking that I've done and the amount of abuse they've put up with, I can say that I'm exceedingly happy with these. And as you can see, I've gone out and bought another pair, so I recommend that you do the same. I mean, the price in Thailand, it's about 1,800 baht, which is not that expensive at all really. So what you get for the money, it's remarkably good value. And yeah, what can I say? This is shoes at the end of their life, and I'm very happy with the amount of wear that I got out of them. So that's the end of the review, guys. I hope that was helpful for you. I hope this has helped you make up your mind about whether you want to buy these shoes or not. By the way, this is a 10mm drop on these shoes. I didn't mention this in the first review, but yeah, 10mm from the heel at the top all the way to the front. That's how much it drops by. So there is a little bit of a raise at the back, and I found it very, very comfortable. Okay guys, that concludes my follow-up review of the Kiprun Trail XT7. I highly recommend this shoe, and I would buy it again. As you can see, indeed I have. So that's it from me guys. See you next time with another quick gear review.